First and foremost, the oral is not, it's a conversation, okay? So you're not going to go into that room and the first question that the examiner asks you is, what did you think of Maggie Thatcher? Or tell me about the anatomy of a rhinoceros. Or they will ask you normal questions about everyday things like your family, your friends, your the subjects you do in school, your, hobbies, etc. Okay, so just be aware of that. You guide the oral as much as the examiner does. For example, if you say that you're very sporty and that you like to play golf, there's a fair chance that they will ask you what you thought about the Masters, which will have happened last weekend, this weekend coming. They wouldn't ask you about the Masters unless you said you were sporty. Now, some people take that to an extreme and they pretend that it's their birthday on the day of the oral, so that they're guaranteed 2 to 3 minutes where they can talk about what they're going to do for their birthday. I'm not saying if that's right, I'm not saying if it's wrong, but people do it. Abstract topics won't be asked, okay? As I said, they're not going to ask you things like Margaret Thatcher or the new Pope or the troubles in North Korea. But if they do ask you something that you're not comfortable talking about, that's absolutely fine. No more than a conversation in English. If somebody asked me about the anatomy of a rhinoceros, I wouldn't have a notion, but I would be able to circumvent that question by, and deal with it by saying, I'm sorry, I haven't a notion about rhinoceroses, but I can talk to you about giraffes or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to give you some phrases to use when you can't deal with a question, so you can get around that question. And look, again, it's a conversation, so if you're able to converse, if you're able to communicate, they can't dock you marks for not knowing about the anatomy of a rhinoceros.